Welcome back to my channel Pretty Go TV, and today we'll be discussing extensively on global warming. According to NASA, global warming is an unusual rapid increase in Earth's average surface temperature over the past century, primarily due to the greenhouse gases released by people burning fossil fuel. The dilemma is that global warming is not only a scientific issue but also involves economic, geopolitical, local politics, psychology, and individual lifestyle. Scientists have discovered that several greenhouse gases are responsible, which is induced by higher level of methane, carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and other contaminants. Global warming is one of the 21st century most contentious scientific concerns, threatening the very structure of global society. Humans produce these gases in various ways. Many of these gases come from the burning of fossil fuel. This phenomenon is not an isolated climate anomaly, but rather a far-reaching and systemic disruption that is reshaping the natural balance of the Earth system. One of the most profound and and most most alarming consequence of global warming is its cascading impact on planet ecosystem, delicate interdependent network of organisms and their physical environment that support life and regulate natural processes. An ecosystem, whether terrestrial or aquatic, tropical or polar, is a dynamic system in which living organisms interact with each other and with non-living components such as air, water, and soil. These systems are finely tuned to specific climatic conditions. Even slight shift in temperature, precipitation patterns, or seasonal cycles can significantly alter ecological relationship, species distribution, biodiversity level, and overall ecosystem functionality. As global temperature continues to rise, ecosystems around the globe are being transformed at an unprecedented rate, from coral bleaching in the Great Barrier Reef to the melting of permafrost in the Arctic tundra, from the shifting habitat of migratory birds to the earlier blooming of plants in temperate regions. The causes of global warming, which are primarily due to a release of these greenhouse gases, which include the carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane, and certain compounds containing chlorine and bromine. The accumulation of these gases in the atmosphere disrupts radiative equilibrium, leading to the heating of Earth's surface and lower atmosphere. Greenhouse gases absorb some of Earth's incoming radiation and re-radiate it back into the surface. Another significant cause of global warming is the depletion of the ozone layer, which is primarily due to gases containing chlorine. These gases dissociate chlorine atoms when exposed to ultraviolet light, which then catalyze the destruction of the ozone. In addition, aerosols contribute to global warming in two ways. First, they scatter and absorb solar and infrared radiation. Secondly, they can alter the microphysical and chemical properties of clouds, affecting their lifetime and duration. While scattering of solar radiation by aerosol can have a cooling effect on the planet, the absorption of solar radiation by aerosol actively warm the atmosphere, preventing Earth's surface from absorbing sunlight. Human activities contribute to aerosol level in the atmosphere in various ways. For example, dust is a byproduct of agricultural activities. The burning of biomass produces carbon droplets and soot particles. Industrial process generate a wide range of aerosols depending on the material being processed or burned. The effects of global warming on the ecosystem include its effects on biodiversity. The earth, land, and the ocean serve as natural carbon sink, absorbing large amounts of greenhouse gases emission. Conserving and restoring natural species and the biodiversity they contain is essential for limiting emission and adapting to climate impacts. Biological diversity or biodiversity is the variety of life on Earth in all its forms, from gene and bacteria to entire ecosystem, such as forests or coral reefs. The biodiversity we see today is the result of 4 billion years of evolution, increasingly influenced by humans. Biodiversity forms the web of life and we depend on for so many things: food, water, medicine, a stable climate, economic growth, among others. Over half of global GDP is dependent on nature. More than 1 billion people rely on forests for their livelihood, and land and the ocean absorb more than half of all carbon emission. But nature is in crisis. Up to 1 million species are threatened with extinction, many within decades. Irreplaceable ecosystems like parts of the Amazon rainforest are turning from carbon sink into carbon source due to deforestation, and 85% of wetlands such as salt marshes and mangrove swamp, which absorb large amounts of carbon, have disappeared. The most immediate and alarming consequences of global warming on biodiversity is decline in species population and distribution, affecting species migration. Global warming is forcing many species to change where they live. As temperature rise, some species will become too hot. Some places will become too hot for the plants and animals that live live there now. Species will migrate out of these hot areas and go into other areas that used to be cold for them. In some cases, species will not be able to move fast enough to escape rising temperature, or there will not be enough places with suitable climate left for them to live in, increasing the risk that these species will become extinct. As global warming forces many plant and animal species to move around or cause them to become extinct from certain areas, the type of species that we find around us will change, which will affect our lives. Many animals and plant species have shifted their range upward in elevation or poleward in latitude in response to rising temperature. This has resulted in increased competition for resources and changes in ecological interaction. It also caused species decline. Numerous respondents and field observations confirm a noticeable decline in amphibians, insects, particularly pollinators like bees and butterflies, freshwater and bird species. Some local species are no longer sighted during their typical season. It also causes disruption of reproductive cycle. Climate change, which is due to global warming, is one of the most common global environmental problems facing humanity today. The effect of climate change in the natural balance of the world on human health have also begun to become visible as one of the indicators of human health. Fertility health is also directly or indirectly affected by climate change. It affects human women in the case of reproduction, and it was determined that temperature increases change follicular size, ovulation frequency, and the duration of menstruation cycle also increases. It has been observed that species now breed earlier or later than usual, leading to mismatches between the life cycle of predator and prey. To curb this global warming, there must be a transition from using of engines powered by fossil fuel to using of natural source of energy such as wind, solar, water, biomass, etc. And also government must educate the public on the effect of global warming so as to stop its adverse effect on the ecosystem. Okay guys, we'll be stopping here today. Please, if you do find this video informative and educative. Please smash the subscription button. Also like this video and share this video to family and friends so they can watch and learn. Bye for now. See you in my next video.